Hey guys, this is the Fast Eddie XL triple pin. You can see there's no pins in it at the moment. And the reason why is I ordered custom pins. I wanted to have 019 on the top in the middle and 010 at the bottom. So the small pin shooting at super long distance, you know, the 019 pins cover up a lot of stuff that's far away. So I wanted a small pin. Well, Fast Eddie is about 4 to 6 weeks on site deliveries. Plus, they charge you $20 a pin labor to install those pins. It's like, wait a minute. I want to order one that hasn't been built, and I want you to put it in the way I want it and send it to me. Well, I'm not famous. I'm not one of the big influencers or anything like that. So they make you pay. So I found the site. First of all, they're hard to find. The XLs are around, but I don't want a dovetail on my hunting bow. I want a regular side mount sight, okay? Anyways, so you call up Spot Hogg and they charge you 20 bucks a piece for the pin and the fiber. All right? And then they charge you $5 shipping. So it costs you 45 bucks to get the 2 pins. So if you did it at Fast Eddie, you wait 4 to 6 weeks, or I'm sorry, you do it at Spot Hogg, you wait 4 to 6 weeks, and then, I mean, hunting season's over, man. So you got to get this stuff done early, or be a friend of them, or know somebody, or you just got to pay. So my local archery shop, they said they would do it. It'd take about 1.5 to 2 hours of labor at 70 bucks an hour to install these fiber optics. And I said, no way, that's crazy. No, but anyways, I'm not going to do the whole process in front of you guys. You guys are going to have to figure it out on your own, right? Because I'm not set up to do that. I just wanted to show you what you need to get it apart, how it comes apart, and kind of a gist of what you need to do. All right. So you're going to need 3 Allens. You're going to need a 16th. And this basically is all the bottom little set screws and stuff adjust with the 16th. You're going to need a 5/64. That's going to take these little button ones off. And then you're going to need a 7/64. It's going to take the bracket off for the light. It kind of sits on top of it. So the way it works is there's this little horseshoe loop where the fibers come down, run back in, and go into the sight. And then this piece of plastic covers them. It's just a thin piece of like Mylar, right? And these little button screws are held on to hold that in place. And then this mounts on the bottom. And then you get to have your sight light, or it mounts on the side right here, actually. Right here. So that's where your sight light screws in. So what you want to do is you want to take out these 4 screws on the bottom with your 16th. And then you want to undo the 2 button screws, take that cover off, and then the little hoses that hold the elements, right? They'll come out when you pull the cartridge out, because they go right down through here and run up this side and back down, and you'll end up with this cartridge in your hand. And at this point, you're going to need to take apart some screws. I'll take them apart for you. There's a lot of stuff inside this. There's little brass ferrules that hold the set screws that allow it to go up and down. And there's 2 little socket head cap screws. So basically, it's a block that's a U-shaped here. That's got to come off. And that comes off with those 2. Then there's 2 more holding that same block in place. Those have to come off. Then there's 2 little socket head cap screws that pass through the block that hold all the sights in line. Those got to come off. So we'll get this thing pulled apart for you real quick and show you what you're going to be doing. And basically, when you order your pins, you won't have to feed the fiber optic in the pin or burn it, because that's already done from the factory. So here's the housings, and they're threaded on the bottom, so you have adjustment up and down. So there's the top pin and there's the middle pin from Spot Hogg with the fiber optic installed, a green and a yellow. Okay, it looks like it's orange or something, but it's actually a yellow. So we'll just go ahead and take these screws out real quick. I'm going to use this to hold the screws so they don't go on the floor because they're kind of small. And if you lose these suckers, it's going to be 4 to 6 weeks. No, it won't be that long, but if you lose them, they're going to be a pain in the ass to describe what you need, and then you're going to be without your sight, because these are little bitty guys. Like I said, I'm not going to do the whole job. This video is already 6 minutes long. I just wanted you to understand what's involved with this. So take these across the bottom out. And then back off these locks. These are pin locks. And then those are the adjustment up and down. Turn them to the right, they go up. Turn them to the left, they go down. Which is the reason why I like this one versus all the other single pin sights. These have fully adjustable pins. So if you have a slow bow, you could still shoot long distance. All right. So there it is. It's split apart. But now, here's the problem that you're going to run into. These hoses run through because this L shape is all one place. So you got to be careful when you pull it out because the set screws are attached to the bottom of the sight. So you got to back out these adjustments, turn them to the left till they rise up and get loose. And you got to do all three. You can't just do one of them. And then getting them lined back up will be tricky. But as long as you get those little side screws in, everything should be good to go. So let's see here if we get it to come off. So there it is. So you pull these out. You don't have to pull them all out, but you definitely got to pull this out and the middle one out and then fish them back through that hose, right? Because this sight runs, the hose locks into the block and then the element goes through the hose. So when you pull the sight out, you got to kind of fish it out. So that's basically how it comes apart, guys. Let's just see if we can do one real quick. So there's the first one. And then there's the second one. Lift it out. Those are the O and O pins. So we'll get the center one in. We'll see if we can't feed that in the hose first. I don't know why they want to charge so much at the bow shop to do this. He made it sound like it was some kind of brain surgery and that only he could do it. Basically, I think he just didn't want to do it. So that's it. That one's installed. They just slip into the slot. Maybe we will just go ahead and finish this up. Feed it back in. Let me get a close up so you can see what I'm doing here. So just leave the hoses running through that bracket over there. Those are the brass set screws. They're on a little brass puck retainer. And then these just slip down inside after you feed in the element. When I say element, I mean the fiber optic. Let's get it pushed all the way in. Okay, there it is. So they just slip into place. Right here. See that? So they just slip right into place. And then now, you're going to have to just rotate it so it's tight against, without pushing these out, where it's tight against those screws so they can get into the bottom of the pins and engage. Because the up and down of these screws adjust the pin heights. So they're going to kink a little bit, which is okay. When I say kink a little bit, the hoses are going to kink. So just kind of, don't worry about the pins getting out of alignment or whatever. You just want to kind of get them pushed into place to where you can get a couple of these screws in there. It's very fiddly. Maybe I'll just try to grab them with the set screws first. through the bottom and get them set in place. Yep, there it is. It's attached. So do that. So get the set screw for the adjustment into the bottom of the sight first. Make sure it's engaged. You can tell it's engaged because it'll start drawing down. So I'm just going to suck them down, and that'll help line up the sides. All right, so now we've got that in. We're going to line up. Let me back them off just a little bit to give me some play. We're going to take these screws and get this pushed down in there, and we're going to line up the button head Allens, not the socket head cap screws that go in the middle. If you don't know what a socket head cap screw is, Google it. You'll find out. Don't cross thread this, you'll be miserable. Just hold that block in place, square it up to the face, and then drive a screw in it. You don't got to tighten it all the way down, just snug it. Grab another one, drop it in. All right, now we'll get the ones from the bottom. All right, and then we'll get those two little baby socket head cap screws that go in there. They drop right in between the pins. And if you have to, back off those other ones if you snug them up too tight, so you can get these lined up right and start it in. You'll see them drawing. Yep, they snugged up. Maybe I should go work at an archery shop, because this did not take an hour. I'm 13 minutes and I got the hardest part of it finished. I'm sure I got to trim these off a little bit. But basically, you're just going to run this. Goes inside here. Oh, let me see here. Turn it around. So the hoses, I think, yeah, they run just like that, just like I had it. This goes right here. These run up inside. Okay, there's a square opening. I couldn't remember. I just pulled it apart too quickly. So feed these inside. Pull them through this square hole right here. There's a square hole. There's two of them. There's three. All right. Now that you got them through that hole, then be careful and just drop the cartridge inside. Make sure your pins are facing backwards. All right, so I got to run these in, these locks. so they'll pass this housing opening. Don't like cram them down, just snug them up, just so they'll clear the hole of the opening. So now you're going to drop in these 4. These are little mushroom head screws. They're called pan heads. They are Allens. And again, those are 16th. Hopefully the lighting's good enough. My hands are all in the way. Just know there's 4 screws on the bottom that hold that whole cartridge in place. All right. So there they are. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's the hole that the fibers come through. Now you want to kind of get them pulled up to where they're not slacked in, they're lined up inside the housing, where they're not on top of each other. And then you're going to go down and you're going to keep them all in a line, and you're going to run them around this horseshoe shape. All right. And then back down, keeping them all lined up so you can put that flat lens on top. This is fiddly, but it's not worth $70 an hour. I mean, these guys aren't working on, I mean, they're getting mechanics prices, and we're talking about bows here, guys. All right, so this goes back to the end like that. And then this goes on like so. And it gets this little screw. Just keep it flat right there. And this uses the bigger one. This is the 5/64. All right. So we got those in there. And lay these flat down. And I need to trim them. I didn't trim them yet. But this pan head goes in the bottom there and holds that in place. And then you mount this on the bottom and you got your sight done. You end up with your pins set up and your sight's finished. So I think you guys could take it from there. Put your little MRT ring on. I'm not sure how well this video turned out, or even if you could see anything. Just know that any bow site, any bow company, or worth their weight in salt will do this in 15 minutes to 20 minutes. If I've done one before, I've never done one before, I could do it in 30 minutes. Okay, so there's no reason that they're charging as much as they charge. See, all the lines are lined up. My only thing I need to do is trim these little fibers. Let me just see if I got some clippers. I got some scissors here. Let's just trim them real quick and just mount this shit up. All right, so they're trimmed. So just hold your finger on this tape, get everything laying flat. This little tag will tuck inside the slot. All right, now the hole lines up. You get your other button head. When I say tag, there's a little slot that the extra plastic tucks down in so it's not flapping out, and it'll push flat. All right. Then you take your other little pan head Allen and using a 5/64, just tighten it down. Now all your fibers are installed. Okay. So let's install the sight light. And it mounts on the back of the scope, the side with the wheel. It's going to mount right there. And this Allen is a 7/64. See if we can start this without cross-threading anything. That'd be nice to cross-thread on camera. There we go. So your sight block, or your light block, mounts like that. Come on, get on there. I think this is 8/32 or something like that. I just bought a cheap one, like $6 one off Amazon, the light itself. But you can see the pins really are bright with it. There's low and there's off. Off, high, medium, low, and off. All right, so that's it, guys. If you have a fast eddy triple stack and you need to change the pins, that's how you do it. See if these are metal or not. Yep, these are metal. They're not plastic, they're aluminum. So anybody needs any top and middle 010 pins, let me know in the comments below and we'll get them to you. Y'all have a good day.